Morbid Collective.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Fright Flick FMK. As always, I'm your host, Jay, joined, like always, by my co host, the gentleman and Jack. But this week, once again, I'm joined by my good friend from down under, Lucy. Lucy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I was pleasantly surprised when you hit me up, at the, like, because it was like, and me and you were talking before we started recording.
Yep.
I was at my computer about to record another episode, and Lucy hits
Yep.
me up because we had talked about this, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, 3 weeks, I think.
Yep. Lucy recommended the movie, and we talked about it. Was going to do a show on it, and so, Lucy's the busy lady. The last time we was on the show, you kind of know Lucy's got everything going on down under.
So to speak.
Yeah, she's a busy lady. And so I'm at my computer and she sends me a message like, "Hey, you want to do the movie tonight?" And so I was like, "Well, hell, we work around Lucy's like what 15 hours ahead. So she's like in the future right now. Like,
yeah.
I'm a whole 15 hours behind. So she's from the future." But how did you um how did you hear about the movie you recommended? Was Creep? 2000 and it was a 2004 horror film, Creep. How did you see it, like when it first came out?
So I saw it when it first came out on DVD in the UK. So it's not the Creep that's currently on Netflix, not the one with the guy with the wolf mask. It's actually set in the London Underground. And I this was when I was in the police. I was like, I think it was like about 18 years ago. This is like 2004.
2004.
And my housemate, he found it. And he said, "Oh, I found this movie. Do you want to watch it?" And yeah, so that was it. I found it through Toby, my friend.
So what's a housemate? Is it like a roommate?
Yes, yep. So I owned a house, and he was in the police as well, and he basically needed somewhere to live. So our shift patterns worked because he was on shift ahead of me. So our shift sort of overlapped, so it worked really well, and like helps pay your mortgage, so, and your bills and things. So
oh yeah, it's crazy though. When I was thinking about 2004, seems like it doesn't seem that long ago.
I know, and I still think when people say 30 years ago, I still think like 1970, not 1990.
Yes, I'm the
freaks me
same
out.
way because when I seen the like 2004, when I hear that number for some reason, I don't think it's that long ago.
No, like how can 30 years ago be
Yeah,
1993? That doesn't compute.
yeah, and that's crazy to me because when I pulled it up, when you recommended it, you said you sent me a message, asked if I'd seen Creep, and I was like, no, I hadn't seen it, and so I Googled it, and like you just mentioned a while ago, I came across the one on Netflix. Is it Netflix? The dude with
Yeah,
the wolf mask. That one I
yeah,
think is, and so I seen that one, but then
yeah,
and I asked you about if it was a Subway one or something.
yeah.
But speaking of the one on Netflix, I actually watched that one a couple weeks ago just for I had nothing else to do and I watched that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what did I think
Yeah,
of that one? Have you
yeah,
have you seen it?
yes,
Oh, have you? What did you think of it?
yes.
Fuck it,
Was it
marry it, or
over
kill
the?
it.
I think it's a kill for me.
Yeah, I was the same way. It was a one and done. It's
Yep.
one of those like once you watch it, you're just kind of like,
Yeah, yeah, no.
the shine is going off of that one. That
Yep.
one night stand that's exactly what it is.
It's a sea donkey.
Exactly. It's the sea donkey. That's the one you just took home.
No, thank you.
No, one and done. Like I said, and I think I was just looking for something to watch, and
Yeah.
you know, I got like the basic shit like Hulu, Netflix,
Yeah.
Tubi, and stuff, and so I've flipped through the horror movies every now and then. I seen Creep, and I was like,
Mhm.
is this a different one? And so when I
Yeah.
looked at the trailer, I was like, hell, I never seen this. So I checked it out and watched it.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that one. That one was a 100% sea donkey.
Gone. Done.
Never calling that bitch back again. but
Oh,
this
dear.
one, the Creep
Yeah.
2004, you recommended, and so and because like I said, our schedules are so different. So when this thing came together, there was no me and Lucy ain't got no prep time for this bad boy.
Was
It was
straight
like,
into it.
yeah, Lucy's like chilling at a mall right now in Australia.
Yeah, I am. I'll show you.
Yeah, look at there, people. We are in an Australian mall right now. Y'all don't get this kind of shit on other podcasts, damn it. You don't get to see inside Australian malls.
Yeah, it's in
But
Canberra.
yeah, in Canberra.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the fuck that is, but it's in Australia, people.
It definitely is. Yep.
But yeah, so like I said, so when she hit me up, there was no prep. There was no us going to watch the movie the day before, take a few
It's like,
notes and jump on here.
let's go.
Yeah, it was
Let's
like
go.
she hits me up, it's like, hey, we're gonna do this in 1 hour. 1 hour. and
I need
go ahead.
I needed that cup of coffee first.
Yeah, because you told me like give me an hour and find like a cafe or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I text you, I was like, it sounded really posh when you said you were looking for a cafe.
Posh. Yeah, very posh.
Very posh.
Very posh as always.
But so yeah, so this one it's been a while since Lucy's seen it. It's been a few weeks since I've seen it. So we kind of pulled up the good old interweb and pulled up what some Google's got, and then me and Lucy just going to do what we do here. We just fucking send it.
Yep.
There's
Exactly.
There's no game plan here. I'm not a guy with a plan. So
That's cool. That's the way we like it.
it is exactly. There's no notes in front of me right now. So
winging it.
Yeah, and so I'm going to give y'all the basic IMDb rundown of this bad boy before me and Lucy jumps in here. Creep, 2004 horror film, written and directed by Christopher Smith. The film follows a woman locked in the London underground overnight. She later finds herself being stalked by a hideously deformed killer living in the sewers below. So, this is where that's your baseline, people. Now we're going to get into this movie. We ain't going to waste no time. You ain't getting none of this. The housekeeping shit ain't happening tonight. You know, we're not getting into the social media, all that shit. It's not there. Google me, motherfuckers. That's all you got to do. So this movie kicks off, Lucy. We got Arthur and George.
Yes. Arthur and George. So.
Yep. And go ahead and walk us into what Arthur and George are up to on this lovely evening.
Okay. So they're two sewer workers. And they come across this new tunnel, and George is a new recruit for the sewer worker, lucky devil. And they come across this new tunnel. So George stays behind, and Arthur goes in, and some time lapses, and Arthur hasn't come back. So George goes in and finds Arthur badly injured and in shock. And then a couple of seconds later, this young lady appears, and she's screaming, and she's injured as well. And then all of a sudden, she's yanked backwards into the darkness.
That little lady scared the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie. When that bitch came out the fucking dark, I was like, when she came out screaming, I was like, "Oh, what the fuck, bitch!"
If I'd been, good jump scare, hey.
Yeah, if I'd have been fucking newbie George, I'd have been nothing but the tail lights on my way out that fucking sewer.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to their main character.
Yes, we got our girl Kate, a young German lady.
Yes. Franca Potente. I think plays her. I can't pronounce her name.
Oh,
Franca Potenti.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna go with that shit. I
She's
definitely.
she was in the Bourne Identity and the Bourne Supremacy, I think.
Oh, I did remember reading that
Yes.
when you first brought this movie up to me. I remember seeing that. Yep.
Yeah.
And so we got Kate, who is she's at a party. She's at some party with a bunch of, I don't know if it seems like a work party. That's what it seems like.
Yep.
Yep. And but the funny part when I'm watching this is of course you got that one coworker Guy.
Yeah.
That's his
the
name.
sleazy guy.
Yeah. And with a name like Guy, you're automatically a fucking douchebag. Like you are with that name. Guy just screams that you're a fucking asshole. And Guy's trying to get up on it. Like he's trying to spit some game.
Yes. Yeah. He finds her rather attractive, shall we say.
Yeah, and you tell Guy's one of those guys that thinks that all the women out there want to fuck him.
Yes.
That's the way Guy kind of comes across.
He's a bit of a sleaze.
He is. Sleaze is a very nice way of saying.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dirtbag.
Yes, he is. And while and Kate at one point is standing there talking to like a couple friends of hers. And apparently Kate has another friend that is going to take her to some other party where the famous George Clooney is at,
Yes. Randomly.
George Clooney. I don't know. Hey, George is a very sexy dude. I get it. She's excited about seeing George. But the funny part was, like, when she's telling her friend, like, I think I'm going to go to this party. And she's like, well, your friend's already gone.
Yes. Yeah. And she's like, oh, shit, I've got to go. So she goes to the underground, or the subway, as you guys call it, which is Charing Cross, a very famous station in London. And she's had a few 2-minute sherbets, hasn't she, old Kate?
Yeah, she's popping her mini bottles. She got a couple mini bottles in her purse. She plans on being nice and loose for George when she gets there.
Yeah. So she's had a couple of beverages and she ends up falling asleep on the subway station, on the underground station.
Who does that though? Like, it can't be that fucking quiet down there, I wouldn't think.
Not really. But it's late. It's late in the evening, so we'll go with it for the time being.
The bitch should have laid off the vodka. She would have been okay.
Yeah. I've got my water instead of my vodka at the moment because it's.
I know. At some point,
11 o'clock here.
At some point, we're gonna get this thing where me and Lucy can toast across the waters.
Yes.
That's coming soon. We're gonna get it set up. Well, it don't matter if I got to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and chug down some Gentleman and Jack. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the sacrifices we make for you people.
We definitely make sacrifices in that regard. So Kate falls asleep and she wakes up and realizes she's locked in the underground. So she's in a bit of a panic. She's like, "Oh shit, I'm stuck in here." And she tries to find a way out, and she can't. She can't find her way out of this subway station.
You're from that area, correct?
South of London. Yeah.
Okay, so do they lock the underground stations up like that?
Yeah, some of them they do. After the last trains come through, sometimes they do. Yeah.
Oh man, I would have fucking shit myself. I can imagine old Kate's fear right now, just being stuck underground.
Okay, cool.
We'll jump back in here. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Fuck it. This shit show gonna keep on running.
Yes.
So we was at the.
So she's locked on the train station.
Yes, train station is locked down.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh shit."
Yes. And it's crazy because when she's upstairs, like where they exit out, everything's locked up. The cages, the little wall, whatever. Well, she hears another train coming.
Yeah.
So she hauls ass.
Yeah. And she jumps on the train, and it's going for a little way, and then the lights go out.
Yep. The damn thing stops. It actually stops.
Yeah, it stops and the lights go out, and then she realizes that sleazebag guy.
But before the sleazebag guy, she walks up to the front of the train where like the conductor should be.
Sorry, shit.
And
I skipped a bit.
Oh, fuck it, it's all good here. It's all good. And she knocks on the little door, and there's like a little peephole, and she's trying to get him to answer the door, like, hey, the train stopped, blah, blah, blah. But and you kind of see this camera shows the dude, the conductor, dead as fuck. Like he's dead. And so
he's gone.
Yep. And so she turns around and somebody's standing there with a flashlight. And this is where you was at.
Yep. And then so she realized it's Guy, the sleazebag from work, is there. And anyway, so he's trying it on again, and she's like rejecting his advances, should we say. And then
But was it crazy? Like the whole time she's talking to this motherfucker, he's got the flashlight in her face. And she thinks it's like one of the trained people. And she's talking to him. And the whole time, douchebag guy is just basically flashlight in her face the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. He's so anyway, she realizes who it is. And he's trying it on again. He's trying all his moves, I suppose. And then he starts to get a bit aggro, doesn't he?
Gets a little over frisky.
Yes. Yeah, and he ends up trying to rape her.
Yep.
And they're on the floor, and she's struggling with him, and all of a sudden, Guy is dragged off the train into the darkness. And you don't see what's pulled him off or who's pulled him off, but he's gone, and she's all like, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
And then a few seconds later, you see Guy. He manages to haul himself up on the floor of the train, and he tells her to run.
Yep.
And he's all like bashed up, and his face is all bloody, and he's like, run.
Yeah.
And then he's dragged off again.
Dragged back again. And luckily, you know, our girl Kate was smart enough. Like she listened to what the fuck Guy said.
Yes.
You know, because, you know, in most horror movies, I joke all the time about us fucking white folk. We just wander into any fucking thing. And so luckily I'm sitting there going, just because Guy said run, Kate was going to be that dum-dum that was like, well, let me go peek over the edge of the door and then get fucked up. But Kate was like, hell no. Guy said run.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Kate, nothing but the tail lights. She was fucking gone.
She was bolted. So Kate's running, and then she comes up to a part of the station. It's all well lit again, and she comes across this storeroom, and there's two homeless people, Jimmy and Mandy, living in this storeroom with their little dog Ray. I think it was Ray the dog.
Yeah, Ray's the dog, and you meet Mandy earlier, like when Kate shows up to go get her George Clooney booty call. She's trying to get her plane. She's trying to get her train ticket, and the machine's not working. Well, Mandy is sitting over here like a little homeless person. You know, she's got Ray sitting in her lap, the dog.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's like, I got a train card or whatever. So she gives her $20 and takes the card. So that's where you first meet Mandy and Ray. Well, then when she runs from fucking, you know,
the thing.
Yep, she runs from fucking Guy. She's hiding. Well, then she hears the noise, and it's that little fucking puppy Ray. Ray had got outside the little door where Mandy and Jimmy were. Yeah.
That's where they're sleeping at night.
they are just, you know, sleepaways in the train station. They got a little cubby hole in the station somewhere. A good little setup, you know. It's a good little setup for a couple, you know, meth heads.
Good place to crash for the junkies.
Hey, it's the junkie hangout, you
know. So she asks for help. She needs to get out. So eventually I think Jimmy agrees to help her after she
Jimmy
offers to give him some more money.
Yeah,
he's like, give him some money.
Yeah, shit ain't nothing for free, people.
No, exactly.
As soon as she gets in there, because Jimmy and Mandy are knocked out, they sleeping. They're bunkered down for the night. And she comes in that little cubby hole where the dog came out, and she kind of wakes them up. But then Jimmy kind of jumps up like, what the fuck you doing in here? And she's telling him to, like, what happened to fucking Guy. And then Jimmy's like, do you got a fag? And when I say fag, people, cigarettes.
Yes.
And so
cigarettes.
Yes. And so she gives him a cigarette. His coked out girlfriend Mandy wakes up at some point and they're chit-chatting. But then, like you said, she needs to go. He tells her that there's like a guard duty guy that's that's there.
Yep. Yeah, like a night watch person who's watching the CCTV. Yeah.
And so she wants to go there, and Jimmy's like, "Oh, I'm about to hang out here with my girl. We about to get our coke on." And she offers him some money, and so Jimmy's like, "Okay." So now Jimmy is going to take Kate to find the guards guy, the night keeper, night watchman.
Yep. And then so they're talking. I think they eventually find the intercom to be able to talk to him.
Yep.
And they're talking to him, and he's really skeptical. And she's saying, "Someone's injured. He needs help. Please can you help up?" And he's like, "You need to show me and prove that there's someone hurt before I'll call an ambulance." He's basically being a bit of a dick.
Oh, he was a douchebag. And because Jimmy, when they found Guy, who was still alive after he got fucked up, he's still alive. So they pulled him up onto the train ramp area. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, Kate looks up and she sees our little dog Ray off behind them. And she's like, "Is that your dog?" And Ray's got some blood on him. And so then Jimmy freaks out because he thinks something happened to Mandy, because little Ray puppy dog covered in blood. So Jimmy runs off.
Yeah.
To go find go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. And before the this douchebag night watchman offers any help, he's like sitting at the control panel and he's attacked and he's killed.
Which he deserved, He
did. He was being a dick.
He was like the only hope for good old Kate at that moment, but he was being an asshole because she's like drags his body out and he's just being a douchebag, don't want to help her. He just don't want to get his fucking lazy ass out of the office, Yeah,
hey, exactly.
I've been there, people. I work in an office. There's days when it's hot outside, I don't want to fucking get out of the office. I get it. So and it's crazy because when he looks down into his little office area, it's like rats fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
And then dude, then something grabs him by the neck and just slits his fucking throat. And douchebag guard guy's dead.
Yeah. And you see this bloody handprint on the CCTV screen.
On the TV, yep.
Yep. So anyway, then they're running off because obviously Ray, the dog's got blood on him, and he's like, "Something's happened to Mandy. Where's Mandy?" So they're running off down the station.
Yeah, because
back to the store.
Jimmy disappeared and went to go look for Mandy. Well, then after this went down with the night guard dude, Kate goes to look for Jimmy. And so she goes back to where Jimmy and Kate or Mandy were staying.
Yeah.
When she goes in there, Mandy's gone. Jimmy got in there and realized his girl was gone. And instead of going to look for her, Jimmy's like, "Fuck it. I'm just going to get fucked up right now." And whatever drugs they had.
I think it was heroin. He ends up shooting up, doesn't he?
I think he did, because when fucking Kate shows up, Jimmy's kind of sitting back against the wall, just fucked out of his mind, and she's talking to Jimmy and she's asking him if there's any other night guardsmen. And apparently she's saying if she goes through another tunnel, they will find another night watchman or whatever. And so now that's the plan. Her and Jimmy are on the move to get through these tunnels to find another night watchman.
Yes. Yep. So they found I think they'd found a blood trail, hadn't they, as well on on one of the walkways, and they're like, "Oh shit." So they decide they're going to go through the tunnel to another station to try and get help.
And when they're going down through this tunnel, they hear a train coming.
Yes.
And of
Yep.
course they have to get off the fucking track because once the tracks, he tells you about how the tracks are like, I guess they'll electrocute you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
gentleman and Jack made me struggle through that word. Shit.
No, you did fine.
Thank
you
you.
did just fine.
Awesome. Thank you. That means I haven't drank enough yet. But so the train comes, and I think the train stops.
Yeah, the
And
train stops. Yep.
Jimmy and Mandy are like talking and stuff. Well, then Jimmy wants to be the badass because his girl's gone. He wants to
Yeah.
go after this dude. He wants to go after whoever's on this train to get
Yeah.
his girl. So
Yep.
Jimmy heads back to the train, gets on the train, then
He's got a weapon, hasn't he?
yeah, he's got like a crowbar looking, I don't know what it is, like a crowbar looking thing.
And he's really angry now because Mandy's disappeared and she's obviously hurt. And then it's all of a sudden it's dark and it's goodnight, Jimmy.
Yep, because Jimmy gets on the train and he walks up there. Well, then something comes through the roof of the train.
Yes.
Like grabs him by the head.
Pulls him up.
Yes. Because when Kate walks in, all she sees is Jimmy dangling feet off the ground. And all of a sudden, it drops Jimmy and Jimmy falls on the floor. Now we got Jimmy dead.
Yeah, Jimmy's gone.
And then it's time for fucking Kate takes off running. Because one thing, damn it, good job, Kate. You didn't pull the white card and just go wandering and being nosy. Kate ran.
She was out of there.
Yes. Kate ran when it was time to fucking run. Good job, Kate, for doing that.
Well done, Kate.
Yeah. The funny part, when she ran, she comes to this little area to where it's like water is running down it. And like the sewer system, you know. And so she she acts like she's going to try to climb up this thing. And the water's running, it's all wet. When soon as she puts her ass on there, her flashlight goes, her torch, they call it a torch over there. The torch goes washing away, and then Kate goes washing away into the sewer system. Where at that point she finds where Arthur's body. Arthur.
Yes.
Arthur. Yeah.
Arthur, the sewer worker. Yeah. So she comes across Arthur's body and she finds comes across this like storage facility. And it's like these cages that are three-quarters submerged in the water. Would you say?
Oh yeah, because she's about definitely.
Yeah, and so she's in there, and then she's captured by the creep.
The one creepy part though, before the creep gets her, like after she falls in the water and all this shit, she finds this ladder that she climbs up, which gets her into the storage facility. And the creepy part is when her nail had been broke off. And I could take a lot of shit, people. I love the gore. I am a gore whore. I love it. But for some reason, there's certain things that when I know it can happen to me at any given moment.
Cringe.
Yes, it makes me cringe. And when she looked at her fingernail and then she has to peel it off. Like the fingernail was done. And you could give me somebody getting her head chopped off all day long, because that realistically, hopefully, won't happen to me. But the old fingernail, fingernail coming off. Yeah. I was like, oh, it showed. I was just like, it makes you just kind of draw up a little bit. And so she's in this, she gets to the storage facility, and then we finally get to see the creep.
The creep. Yeah.
The creep. Yep.
Yeah. So he's like this deformed person. He's got like this really big bulgy head, and I think he's naked.
Eyes. Like heels have like an inbred looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not pretty.
This is why brothers don't fuck sisters, because of motherfuckers like that.
Yeah. He's the poster child for why you shouldn't sleep with members of your family.
Yeah, don't sleep with your sister. That shit happens.
Yeah. He's the poster child of why it's bad.
This what
Yeah.
happens when daddy fucks daughter. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's bad. It's bad. But yeah, so you see, so he captures Kate, and he puts her in a cage with George, who from memory I think he's passed out.
Yes, George is
or he's pretending to be asleep.
Yeah, he has these cages that's like kind of like almost like chest deep type water. He's got bodies that he's putting in there. And that's go ahead.
So when after the bodies have after they've died, that's when he eats them. So he's like deformed cannibal hermit type weirdo. So Kate and George are in this submerged cage together, and he's planning on eating them when they're dead skis.
Oh yeah, because when he first gets in there, it shows him that's where he's dragging Kate to, and then it shows him he's got like this big like spear looking thing.
Yeah.
And he like stabs George. George looks at him like, I ain't dead yet. And so the little fucking inbred dude drags off another body, and you see him dragging it upstairs because that's his fucking dinner. Well, then we got Kate and George. Now they're chit-chatting. They're both in these little cages. But apparently these cages, you can swim under them. They don't go all the way down. So there's like a wall and you can swim under it. But my main man, George can't fucking swim, damn it.
No. So he's like freaking out. But so the creep, I think we find out he's called Craig. Yeah,
we'll get the Craig comes toward later on.
Yes.
Because once
that's right.
A girl Kate, she's got the fight or flights and kicked in. She's gonna fight. So Kate works her way under a couple cages and comes out the one that inbred dude had left open. So when she comes out, inbred dude comes back to fuck with George.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And so when he's fucking with George, he stabs George this time with the thing. Well, then our girl Kate comes in with like one of her high heels on or whatever it was, and pops inbred dude right in the fucking head, and he goes down. But typical, normal shit. Where when the thing goes down, nobody just keeps swinging on it. Nobody just keeps fucking beating the shit out of it.
Yeah,
they just run off.
If that thing was coming after me, I wouldn't be getting up again. If he was down, he wouldn't be getting up.
No, it was like, if I've got him down, I'm going to keep on hitting him with whatever I have to hit it, because she can get the spear thing now because the fucker's down. But nope. What does Kate do? Kate grabs George and we take off. Nothing but the taillights again. They fucking run.
Yeah. See, if it was me, it would be like I'd be taking out his eyes so he can't see.
Yes.
At least take out his eyes so he can't see.
Yep, I would have jumped on his ass as soon as I knocked him down, and I'd have fucked him up. But nope.
Even if you can't kill him, take out those eyes. Use your thumb, do that, some jabbing, and take him out.
Don't ever fuck with Lucy. You know what's coming, people. Lucy gonna DI you. I don't know if that's a word, but that's my new word. DI you.
Yes, definitely.
So
the DIing tactic.
DIing. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'm claiming it now.
It's a new Fright flick word.
It is. That's just for the show, just for this show only. But Kate and George now they're on the run.
Yep.
And they come to this area. Like it's like a little hospital type looking thing, little setups where it is.
Yeah, they come across as like an old railway car, like a disused railway car.
Is this before?
I think it is.
But that comes after they find
that's after,
Mandy.
sorry. I'm skipping ahead, aren't I?
No, it's all good. So like I said, people, me and Lucy jumped on this thing last minute, shooting from the hip. So
you're right.
Yeah, they come across. They're getting away from inbred dude, and they come into this little room to where they see Mandy.
Yes.
Jimmy's girl Mandy, who got snatched up earlier, she's laying
Yeah.
on one of these like hospital beds where like y'all
Like a surgical table.
yeah, kind of like where they give birth at, where they got like the legs
Yeah.
kind of strapped up in the stirrups.
Yeah. And there's all these like jars of like fetuses, like
Yeah, like
on the wall, and
bunch of dead babies.
I think it's like a abortion clinic, like a
That's kind of what it
underground
looks
illegal.
like. Yep.
Yeah.
Little underground.
And yeah, and so she's strapped on this surgical table thing, isn't she? And
Yes.
she's unconscious.
Yep, because old fucking George goes up there and he kind of like wiggles her foot, and he just assumes she's dead. And you know, because Kate's kind of upset because you know she kind of knows him. Then they had a moment in the love shack back there. She knows him, and so she kind of upset. They go out, they run out the room. Kate's kind of upset, and they kind of going about the way. And this is where they find that fucking like the brick walls kind of missing a couple bricks.
Yeah, and so they think she's dead, and then they run off, don't they?
Yeah, they get through that little they kick out this little brick wall and they climb through it because Kate she sees it, she's like, give me the torch, and she flashes up in there. She's like, there's like another tunnel. So when they kick out these little bricks, they're able to get through it. And so when they get through it, they're on their way. But then after they're gone, inbred dude comes up in there with Mandy.
Yes. So
I love this part of the movie.
He puts on this dirty surgical gown, and he's moving there's like hospital lights above the beds, the old ones that pull down and you can angle to where you need them to be, and he's putting on these rubber gloves, and they're all dirty, and they've got the fingers missing on these gloves.
I love the part really gross. I love the part, but when he first walked in, when he went to wash his hands, there's like no water,
and there's no water, and
he's just simulating.
That's right, and he's got a medical bracelet, like a metal medical bracelet. It's kind of embedded in his wrist.
Yep, because that's where Kate finds that later.
Yeah. And he's like this deformed creep is gonna do surgery on Mandy.
And Mandy is not dead, people. Mandy is awake.
No.
Mandy wakes up while creep dude he's prepared because when he washes his hands, there's like no water at all. But he does the motion and then even like shakes his hand like he's getting the water off. And then this dude's getting ready for like surgery. You know, and so Mandy's like trying to talk to him, and then tell everybody what fucking inbred dude does next.
Oh, well, so he has a bone saw. And Mandy's like crying and whimpering on the bed because she knows shit's going to happen and it's not going to be fun for her. And he ends up disemboweling her.
He takes this fucking knife.
Yes.
And he shoves it right up her vagina, people. Right up the vajayjay.
Yep.
And it shows him at one point up close. He's covered in blood. You can tell he is sawing that thing. Like he was trying to cut her. He's trying to cut her from clit to throat, people. Like he is sawing on her. And that was a good part. And
it's you have to let your imagination go a bit with that one.
So then now we're back with George and Kate. They have found, like you said earlier, that little trolley car.
Yes, I skipped ahead a bit, sorry.
No, don't worry about it. We're sending it.
And they find this like disused rail car, and there's Ray, I think the dog's in there again, isn't he? Ray the dog's in there, I think.
Shit, I don't forget.
He's running around.
Somehow she ends up with Ray, though. I remember that. Ray's still nearby. Ray ain't dead, people. The dog is good.
Yay for Ray.
I know a lot of people get upset when they fuck with the animals, but hey, just a heads up, Ray gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who
Yeah.
don't kill the dog.
Yeah, Ray gonna be okay.
So there's all these pictures of a doctor, and there's a deformed child standing with the doctor, and I think there's, if I remember rightly, there's all these old toys, and it's just, yeah, it's really creepy.
Even though nasty
Really creepy.
mattress that inbred dude was laying on, just everything
Yeah.
just screamed nasty, and,
Yeah,
and it was funny because and you could see it coming when George stood in front of that window, and
yeah,
Kate's like, "We need to get out of here," and George is like, "Well, let's
yeah,
fucking get out of here," and
yeah,
next thing you know, bam, inbred dude.
yeah. There he is. He's there,
What's he do?
and so he ambushes George, I think, and so George is killed.
Well,
It,
George puts a whooping on inbred dude for a little while.
he does. He puts up a fight.
Yeah, he grabs George by the throat, and George drags
Yeah.
him into the little rail car. But George is whooping his ass. Well, then we got
Yeah.
our girl Kate standing there with this fucking crowbar looking thing, and she goes like she's going to hit him. But then he looks at her, and he was just like, he starts talking to her, and he's copying the words she said earlier about like, don't kill me. I'll do anything you want me to do. And I'm sitting there the whole time I'm watching it. I'm going, fucking hit him in the head.
Yeah, do him.
There's a pause. That pause cost George's fucking life.
Yeah, yeah. So don't hesitate, people, is the key.
No, when you got a chance to smash your head, smash your fucking head.
Or what is it? Dig them.
Dig them. Dig them out. DI them.
DI them. Yeah.
DI.
Do it. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, she paused, and it cost George because George ended up like she did swing at inbred guy, and he missed. He moved his head and she missed. Well, as soon as she missed, he grabbed George by the head and shoved his head into some like piece of metal, like right in his ear. And so now we got George is dead. People, now we're down to just Kate. Kate goes on the run.
Good night, George.
Yeah. Good night, George. Kate does what Kate does. Kate runs.
Yep, she's off again. She's hightailing it out of there.
But she's running in some tunnels that inbred dude has been in his whole life. He knows these tunnels. I remember when she come around one corner, inbred dude knocked the shit out of her. He just like fucking punches her, and kind of like knocks her down.
Yeah.
And then this is where we get to the he actually knocks her out, kind of like knocks her down. He drags her to some spot. He's sitting there, and they're kind of across from each other. And he's got her by the. He's like, it's funny because he's like reaching out and touching her face and shit with them nasty ass rubber gloves on, just covered in dirt and all kind of the Mandy sauces all over these.
Mandy Gore.
Yeah, all over them. And that's the part where you had mentioned earlier where she looks down. He's got this metal bracelet thing, kind of just, you can tell it's been on his hand since day one because it's super tight.
It's like embedded.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like embedded in his wrist.
Yep. And it's got the name Craig on it. So now, inbred dude's got a name.
Yeah.
Inbred dude's named Craig.
Craig. Yeah.
And then this is where, once again, Kate, fight or flight, Kate goes to fighting.
Yes. So I think they'd seen the name Craig in the disused rail car on the pictures. I think it said Craig.
Oh, did it? I didn't even notice
remembering that right.
I didn't even notice it.
So she's realizing she's realizing he's the guy in this clinic with the doctor.
Oh, okay. See, I overlooked that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, Kate starts fighting again.
She finds this fucking hook, this big metal hook, and
it's on a chain.
Yep, but she hooks old dude good with it. When she grabs it and swings it, she hooks him right in the neck, and he's making this like god awful squealing noise, and it made me wonder: did he communicate with the rats or something? Because every time I see them rats. And then he would make that little sound he made. I'm like, this motherfucker, does he like, he knows rat language, like he can communicate.
Yeah, he's always seems to be surrounded by rats, doesn't Wherever he
Yes.
goes is rats.
Yes. And like you said, once Kate hooked him in the neck with this big ass hook, she runs and
Yep.
she sees the train track. She's right there where the train track is. And she remembers her guy, Jimmy, telling
Yeah.
her how the train tracks, have it can electrocute you.
Electrified.
Electrified. And
Yep.
that's where she starts, she goes beast mode on that fucking chain in the wall.
Yep. Yep.
Go ahead and get us
Yep.
there.
Yep. So and then she hears the train coming. There's a train coming down the tracks. And she's like, this is it. So
Yep.
she pulls the chain taut, doesn't she, across the tracks.
Yeah, because she has to pull it out of the wall, because the chain that's hooked to that hook is like kind of bolted to the wall. So she's snatching on it, and she finally
pulling
gets
it tight.
to come loose. Yep, she finally gets it to come loose. And then when that train comes by, she throws that fucking chain
across the tracks.
Across the tracks, and old dude, our main guy, Craig's done.
Craig's done. The train comes along and drives over the chain, and it's like, good night, Craig. He's ripped apart.
Oh yeah, Craig, game over. It's over. Inbred dude is now dead. And then our girl, Kate, makes her way back up, walks out the tunnel, back into the main area of the train station now. We're like, all lit up. Has her
It's morning.
Yeah, she's sitting against the wall, and here comes our little dude, Ray.
Ray, the little doggy.
Ray the dog, still kicking. He comes up to her, and now, Mandy and Jimmy's dead. So now Kate is now, but it's funny because when it showed Kate sitting in the floor with Ray, it took you right back to when it was
to the
Mandy.
start.
Yeah, Mandy and Ray was sitting in the floor, because I think if I remember right, didn't somebody come up to her and try to give her like some money? They thought she was homeless.
Yeah, so Kate's sitting on the floor. She's filthy dirty. She's bloody. She's her dress is all ripped. She looks like a mess. She's sitting on the floor, stroking Ray, and this businessman comes up and he drops a couple of coins on her feet, or by her feet, like trying to give her this homeless chick some money. Hey. And she starts laughing.
Yep, and then that is credits roll. After that, that's it. She survived Craig and everything else. All because she wanted to climb on some Clooney cock. That's why. She wanted the Clooney cock.
She did. She did. Yeah, she wanted a party with George.
Yes, she did, and that's what kind of got her there. But hell, Kate was a fighter this whole thing. I will give Kate that, because Kate kind of put off in the beginning. She was that little, little bougie ass, dumb blonde type thing, which she kind of put off. But I will give Kate credit. Kate won. Kate knew when to run. Kate wasn't nosy. When Kate had a chance to run, Kate fucking ran. So I was like, kudos, Kate, for
But she hesitated with George, though. She saved herself, but not George. So that's
that's on her. She's gonna have to live with George, because George could have survived if she'd have just kept swinging that fucking metal thing she had. Like, I got it. You missed the first time, damn it. But keep on swinging. No.
Yeah, exactly. And she still at that point she still had her stilettos, didn't she?
Yeah. There was plenty of options that she could have took out fucking inbred dude.
See, she could have she could have DI'd him.
DI'd
with the stilettos. She could have.
Without no eyes, the dude couldn't have found her in the tunnels later on when he smacked the shit out of her. So everything goes back to the DIing, people.
Yeah, she should have DI'd it when she had the chance. Get the stiletto in there, get the heel in there.
See? Lucy giving y'all some knowledge right now, ladies. Pay attention. DIing is where it's at. Yeah, DIing is where it's at.
But I only know that because I got attacked by a girl with stiletto.
Oh shit! Back in your police days.
Yeah. Well, she tried anyway, but she got taken to the floor pretty quick.
You slap her with that little stick y'all carry around?
No, it was she didn't want me to take her stilettos off her, and I said, well, I'm taking them, and she was like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. And there was just this big bundle on the floor, and she managed to get one of them off and was trying to hit me in the head, but yeah, pinned her down pretty quick, and yeah, didn't go anywhere. But they were big stilettos. So I was like, you're not hitting me in the head with one of those, lady.
Oh no, I couldn't do that for a living.
Yeah, it was fun.
Kudos to all the police people out there, because y'all have there's a level of patience that goes into that that I was not born with.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm patient, but it was like, yeah, you're not getting me with those stilettos, lady.
Oh, I could imagine. No DI in here are going to happen today.
Not today. No.
So
yeah.
What did you think of the storyline itself? Not the overall, but just the storyline.
Storyline. I quite like the storyline. I like the premise of it being in the underground, because I think it's a good, there's lots of ways the story could have gone. Yeah, I thought it was a good place to base it. Something slightly different as well.
Yeah, I like the storyline because, one, I didn't know where it was going to go. When she ended up down on the train tracks, asleep and stuff like that, I had no idea at that moment where it was going to go. So the story, I liked it. I liked the fact that it was, just underground, just kind of I like the not knowing. I'm glad they didn't give me I'm glad I didn't get Craig early on. I'm glad they kind of saved Craig toward that meetup moment they had in the little storage area.
Yeah. And I think, I hate clowns. I have coulrophobia. I hate clowns. And there's a bit in the movie, and there's all these creepy toys, and I think there's a little monkey toy that bashes the cymbals. And I'm it's so gonna be good. It freaks me out. But yeah, it kind of keeps you on your toes. You can't kind of really predict where it's going to go, especially throwing sort of Jimmy and Mandy into the mix as well. It keeps you going, well, okay, maybe it's them, or there's lots of sort of possibilities, I suppose.
Yeah, because at first, when early in the beginning, when it was our two guys in the beginning, Arthur and I forget the other dude's name, when they're in the sewer, it made me think, George. I thought it was going to be like a creature feature. I thought maybe it was going to be like some creature down there. Okay, got it. And that's where I seen it going. I was like, okay, there's some creature down here. But then when it came to be like, it wasn't a creature. It was just some dude that just got
some weirdo.
Who had the very shitty end of a stick because he had some fucked up doctor that, had all kind of tests going on down there. So that was a good surprise because, I've seen, I didn't want it to be a creature, and I was glad when it wasn't a creature. I'm glad that it was like just some person down there.
Yeah. Some inbred, deformed widow.
Yeah, the fucking inbred people down there. And he looked at people like, when you watch the movie, you'll see it. This dude was he was fucked up looking.
Yeah.
He was
the big head and the googly eyes.
Yes, 100%. Hills have eyes, wrong turn, all smashed into one. This dude, he had the look to it. So I like the story. As far as the people in the movie, you enjoy everybody? Anybody kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. I like George. I was sad when George got knocked off.
I really thought George was going to make it. I really did.
I thought George was going to make it.
Because when he was in the beginning of it, and I was like, it looked like he kind of got, fucked up. And I was like, I bet he's going to be that one that makes it to the end because he was the hero. The beginning. Yeah. Yeah. But nope.
Yeah. Nope. No surviving for George.
All because old girl Kate didn't DI the motherfucker. We lose George. Yep. George was good. George had a little funny way to him. I like George a lot. Yeah, as far as all of them in the movie, everybody played the roles. I enjoyed it. Guy
Yep.
100% sold the
Yeah.
whole you're a fucking douchebag that thinks that everybody wants on your fucking dick. He played that
Yep.
one perfect, you know.
Yep.
And Kate was surprising to me because in the beginning, I took Kate as when this thing started, I was like, okay, we're gonna have dumb blonde, you
Yep.
know, whatever
Ditzy
throughout
girl.
this, yes,
Yep.
throughout this movie. And that's what I kind of expected when it first started showing her. But she was a
Yep.
surprise to me. She turned out to be like, you know, this little badass that wasn't gonna fucking just, you know, bow, just give up, you know.
Yep.
And so she was a surprise. She was the one I say surprised me because I instantly felt dingy, giggly, high school teenage blonde chick that was just going to annoy me the whole movie. That I was going to want to die. Like I thought, like, bitch, I want you to die, and that's what I thought in the beginning. And then she kind of, you know, once you realize that okay, she's not that type of. This is not her. You know, she's this badass that's going to, you know, do all the right things except for DIing motherfucker when she needed to. That's the only thing I can say about Kate.
Yeah, she didn't come into bat for George. She let George down.
Let fucking George down, man. That's the only.
Poor George.
The worst part of the whole thing is fucking George not making it. You don't give a fuck about really nobody else. You don't give a fuck about the damn guy dying. You really don't give a shit about Jimmy and Mandy. There's a couple fucking heroin addicts in a fucking subway. You don't really give a shit about them. But George had a fucking family to go home to. George was just second day of work or whatever, new guy. George is trying to make a living.
George was a good bloke.
He was. He was just trying to put food on the table.
Yeah, George was a good bloke, but I am glad Ray the dog survived because it would have been sad if he.
Yep. See, that's like a lot of people are all about the animal thing. Me, I don't. Either way, if in a horror movie, if the animal gets it, kudos, I'm fine. If kids gets it, I'm fine too. But you know, so I give props to a horror movie that's willing to fuck up some animals or some kids because so many people out there don't like it. People would literally not watch a movie if they find out like, oh, they kill a dog or they kill something in this movie. Dog, well, I'm not fucking watching it. You know,
well,
and
I'll watch it, but I have 4 dogs at home, so I'm like, no, don't hurt the doggies.
See, and I get it. You know, not everybody. I'm not a dog person. That's just me.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to stuff like that, it doesn't bother me. You know. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that is, and a lot of people. There's people out there that is a trigger for them, but they will not. Like you harmed an animal in that movie. I'm not watching that. You know. But hey, people, Ray the dog. He's okay. He makes it to the end.
He does.
Yeah, little Ray gonna be okay.
He's a little like sub-hero, isn't he? He's a little. Ray made it. Woo!
Yeah, he is because if you think about it, little Ray was the one that let them know that something happened to Mandy.
Yes.
You know, little dog came and found them. They were on the other side of the train station looking for this night watchman. Little Ray was a trooper. He went and found them.
Yes.
And so he's the one that led them back to let them know something's up. So
he did.
Realistically, at the end of the day, Ray could have been the hero in this whole thing.
I think he was, just quietly.
we will give Ray his props. I don't know what kind of dog he was. He almost looked like a Jack Terrier. What kind of dog do you think he was?
I think he's a bit of a bitzer. So like a Jack Russell cross to me.
Yeah, I thought he looked like a Jack Russell too.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
This is the part of the show you all been waiting on, people. This is where we give a rating. This is where we let you know if we'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. And if you've been around more than a day listening to this shit show, you know how we work it here. Marrying being the best, you can watch it every day. That's your baby. Fucking it, that's your friends with benefits, as Lucy called it. Friends with benefits. Once every now and then, you'll want to check it out. Then the kill is the sea donkey. That's the ugly thing you picked up at the club, you took home, you fucked it, you're not happy about it, now you want it gone. One and done, you ain't going back. So we're going to turn this over to our good friend Lucy to get her rating of Creep. What's it going to be, Lucy?
Okay. So because I'm in the shopping mall and
Oh, you
there's a
can't
few
say the
kids
words.
around.
Yeah, I got you. I
So
got you.
I will say this is a friends with benefits for me. I'll let you
Okay.
say the word, Jay.
That is a good old fuck for Lucy.
Yes.
Friends with benefits. The fuck.
Yes. Yes.
I just like saying that word. Fuck.
Yeah, I do too, but there's little ears around
Oh,
and
I
I'm very
totally get it.
conscious.
Totally get it. And hey, I'm okay. That is completely fine. But like I said, so
So,
Lucy giving it a friends with benefits. She's going to call it up every now and then on a lonely night when the wine is flowing,
yep.
and she's going to be like, "I just need this itch scratched." And look at here, creep. He's gonna scratch that itch for me.
Yes. It's one I can watch when I'm doing the ironing or I've just got a little bit of time just to, you can flick it on and forget about it and go back to it. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, See, I was on the rails with this one. If it was going to be
Ooh.
a kill or fuck.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
and when I say kill, there's certain movies I will kill because I just fucking hate them. And then
Yep.
there's movies to where I will kill it, but it's
Yep.
an enjoyable kill. Like I
Yep.
enjoyed, it was a good one night stand,
Yep.
but I don't there's nothing else. And so
Yep.
I've had kills like that where I will tell people like I kill it
Yep.
because there's certain movies I watch to where once you watch it once
You're
and you
done.
have that feeling, that anticipation of wondering what's happening, and if
Yeah.
you watch it again, that's not going to be there, you
Yep.
know. And so for me, that's where this one fell on a
Yep.
kill, but not in a bad way.
Yep.
It's because, like we talked about earlier in the beginning, where I was wondering what's doing it. Is it some creature in the sewers?
Mm-hmm.
And that anticipation of waiting on it and finally getting to see the fucking inbred.
Yep.
And so that part of it is why it will be a kill for me, because I won't be able to have that feeling again of
Yep.
not knowing what's in the sewers,
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it's definitely not saying because it's a bad kill. It's a
Yep.
good kill.
Yep.
And that's why I would, I tell everybody to watch any horror movie, whether or not good, bad, whatever we say about it, you got to go watch it. This
Yep.
is a good
Yep.
kill for me.
Yep.
So
Okay. Cool.
so good choice, Lucy. Like I said, I'd never heard of it, and it's crazy. 2004, never heard of it until
Yep.
it brought it up, and
Yep.
and God, every time I say 2004, fuck, it's just like we talked about earlier. It was like, why is
Yeah.
I feel like that's like 5 years ago.
No, 19 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I refuse to
Crazy,
say
crazy.
I refuse to
Yep.
say I'm getting old. I refuse to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Yep. Yep. The
But
90s were 30 years ago.
that was
It's
good
crazy.
Lord. It was the best time.
Oh, yep.
80s and the 90s.
Yes. Yes. I'm
Us,
that era too. So, yeah.
oh yeah, us Gen X people, this Gen X
Yeah.
folks.
I think we had a proper childhood. A proper,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
The
way
last of their proper childhood.
Yeah, them days is over now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is Creep 2004.
Yes.
You can check this thing out for free on Tubi. It ain't gonna cost you nothing.
Yep.
So get on over to Tubi, give it a watch, swing by in the comment sections or whatever on the social media. Let us know what you think. Talk shit, say what you want, really don't care. But yeah, like I said, I didn't touch on all that shit earlier. I'm not going to touch on it now. Fright Flick FMK, Google me, bitches. It'll pull up somewhere down there. But once again, Lucy coming through with a banger of a movie, a good movie, enjoyed it. And I'm totally cool. I like the fact that you're willing to recommend the movie and then want to get on here and talk a little shit about it.
Oh, sure. It's heaps of fun.
It
I
is.
love my horror movies. So, yeah.
That's
And
good.
thank you for having me again.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, anytime you get time, you know, I said I can work around the schedule. You're from the future. You tell me. But
I'm
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, you're ahead of us. You know shit before we know it. So, but yeah, I definitely appreciate it. It was a surprise. Like I said, I didn't expect it when you hit me up on it earlier today. So it was kind of like, oh shit, I don't remember. I got to pull up some stuff, and so. But sometimes that's some of the best stuff though is when you just get on there and you just kind of back and forth and you're able to kind of
Yep.
remember like, oh shit, I forgot that. The same way
Yeah.
me and Dave were last week on the Killer Donuts because Dave
Yes.
remember some shit that I didn't remember.
Yes.
So it works out better sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'll be listening to that one on my way home this afternoon. So.
Oh yeah, see, there's an unedited version because on the Patreon, on the Patreon, I upload unedited where I don't I
Yep.
upload everything from the time I push record until the end. And so
Yep.
on that unedited version, me and Dave talked for a whole hour before we ever start the show. And
Yep.
so I think like Phantom that's in the Discord with us, she's in my Patreon also. Well,
Yep.
she is in that one, and so she was able
Yep.
to hear like the full blown 1 hour of me and Dave just talking before we ever touched Killer Donuts, you know.
Yes, yes. He's a good guy, that Mr. Jari.
Oh yeah. He's a good one. I said like
Yeah.
Dave like family to us, you know.
Yes. Yep. He's a good guy. So is Garrett.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan, and
Yep.
you know, for whatever douchebag that was out there that had some bad comment to say about the fucking Criminal AF family. Well,
Yes.
from the Fright Flick family, I can just straight up tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And
I think we all thought that, I think.
yeah. So, like I said, we got your back, Criminal AF. All them other motherfuckers
Yeah.
can just fuck off.
Yeah, they can. Too right.
And see, this is the good thing. Like Lucy being in the mall, she can't cuss and say the things I'm saying. So it's me being able to say the things that she may be thinking. I'm able to say it right
Absolutely.
now. Yeah. So
Yes.
because she's
Yep.
in the mall, so we got kitties and shit. She can't say the shit I can say. I'm in the privacy of my own home with my gentleman and
Yes.
Jack, so I can tell people just go fuck yourself, just like that, and say the word fuck.
And I can wholeheartedly agree with you.
See, there you go. But hey, that's going to bring us to the end of another episode. Once again, Creep 2004, Lucy's pick. We got us a good old fashioned friends with benefits, which is a fuck. And then we got a good kill for me. And like I said, when I say kill, don't take this one as a bad kill. This is a good kill. Go check this movie out. It's free on Tubi. You will not be disappointed. And until next time, motherfuckers, this is that time of the show when you gather up your shit, you grab your drinks, you put your chairs away, and you get the fuck out of here. A huge thank you goes out to the associate producers of the show, Chris Owen, Gregory Berry, Beth Davis, and Dylan Matt. The producers, Dave Jari and Julien Desamois.